Surprise! Bristol's tire wear is back again. We had a classic Bristol night race. So much to talk about in today's episode. Is JGR peaking a little bit too early for their championship run in the playoffs? So we'll talk about that as they sweep the round of 16. And NASCAR might finally be ready to move away from the playoffs. I picked a great week to come back. I have a really cool race to talk about. Hello. I'm Zack, back this week. Alex.
And I'm Alex.
Here.
I'm still here. I never left.
Yeah. Shout out to our good friend Tanner for filling in for me last week. I was busy being a sweaty old gamer. Yeah.
You competed. You were a professional gamer.
Yeah. I went to a Splatoon tournament in Ohio. It was a lot of fun. I talked a lot about it on my gaming account. So, at Dreamy Zack if you want to check that out. But yeah, I had a really good time. I did not really watch Gateway. Literally the only thing I had to say was Toyota. And that's kind of similar to the theme of what we're going to talk about today. But we have to talk about something else first. Tire wear. The star of the show. It's back. The gay tire experts, they're back. Remember the last time this happened at Bristol, we were just like, why did this happen? Because that was my question. I'm like, why did this happen? No one really knew. None of the smart people in the racing knew.
We seem to know now, though.
Do we? Because I feel like I know, and I'm just a gay guy on the internet.
Well, everyone else seems to be, at least with this compound, it's the weather. It's the temperature. Because cooler temps. Because the same tire practice on Saturday did nothing. It did not wear at all. Then it was cooler temperatures, and it wore plenty. So weird. And it was very cold at the Bristol race last year that it did this at.
Yeah, they had a softer compound, sure, but again, it just didn't really. I don't think that really is what made the difference, and we'll talk about that later with some of our Patreon comments, but. No one really saw it coming. I mean, Alex, we were texting before the race. We're like, this is going to be such a boring race. We were dreading it.
You had plans to redecorate your shelves. You were going to, I think you said you were going to clean or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to do a workout during stage 1. I had the race on. And then all of a sudden, someone has a tire going down.
Yeah.
Was it
like Blaney or something? Or somebody?
No. Blaney was one of the last ones to pit.
Yeah,
it was 47. It was 47. Or no, it was Allmendinger. Because Allmendinger had the very first.
Yeah, it was, and he had the pole, so he had the fastest car too. That's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. So I was like, oh, that sucks for Allmendinger, qualified good. But then more people had issues, and then more people had issues.
It's it's a
tire race.
We slowly were like, oh my God, it's happening. It was one of the best feelings ever to notice, oh my gosh, it's happening. Because we did not expect it. I mean, the last 2 Bristol races, including the night race last year, horrible, boring races. There was no tire wear. And so it does frustrate me that we seem to still not have clear answers. There's still people, because again, the crew chiefs going into this race knew clearly, they're keeping track of the weather and the temperature, surely. But none of them had any kind of idea that this was going to be a tire wear.
Adam Stevens said he would have bet his house that the tires were not going to wear. That's homeless. Pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Stage 1, it was pretty chaotic. It was a little messy, but it was still entertaining.
Yeah.
And once teams figured out what was going to happen, they adjusted their plans, and their race was pretty solid from there on.
I'd say
the end of stage 1. Messier. No, I don't think so. Stage 1, I thought was really good. The end of it with Blaney and Gibbs fighting for that stage win. Eventually, NASCAR and Goodyear gave teams 1 additional set of tires. What do you think about that? Because I don't care. I think it's fine.
I guess, but it's oh, y'all need extra tires. Girl, I don't know, because it wasn't a Brickyard situation, or was it? I don't know. I don't.
Because
the math was
the reason I don't care really is at the end, a lot of guys were on scuffs anyway for that very last run. So if they didn't give it, it would have been even more wear. And that first set, they didn't know the situation was happening. So they all were going full speed. So they really lost the set. So I think it's fine, personally.
I go back and forth on tire sets. In Xfinity races, they have not a lot of tire sets, and sometimes it creates diverging strategies. but I've heard other people on Twitter like say like it's also kind of handcuffing crew chiefs at the same time when they have less tires to work with. So yeah, it doesn't really make a difference, but yeah, it didn't really make a difference. So it's not really a point to talk about it. I want to talk about though, you know, is Goodyear, a lot of people were thinking Goodyear, and this is me kind of going back to this point. Like, I don't know if Goodyear is even responsible for this, because if they don't even know how this has happened.
Goodyear said themselves that they made a tire that NASCAR asked for.
Yeah,
that they wanted a tire that would wear. So yes, Goodyear is who made the tire. NASCAR refuses to fix the car. Zack, NASCAR refuses to fix the car. So it's all in Goodyear's hands. And Goodyear's like, well, we made the tire NASCAR wanted. And even if it's messy or whatever you want to say, I don't think it was personally. It was fine. It was good. But Goodyear's like, this is what NASCAR asked us to do. So we did it. And we have 2 Patreon comments. One from Chris says, kudos to Goodyear. Everything about what NASCAR is asking of them goes against their desire to create durable, long-lasting tires. And we have seen that. Goodyear consistently likes to make these tires that last way too long, and we have no tire wear. But then Saturday, we had these tires that would wear. And then we go to Patreon member Jordan, who says, I'm not sure what they expected bringing an untested tire to a playoff cutoff race, but NASCAR isn't exactly beating the illegitimate champion allegations with this one. Despite this, the race was great, and the tires absolutely let the drivers make the difference.
Okay. So here's why I'm like not giving Goodyear, not that I'm not giving Goodyear credit, because like obviously, yeah, I appreciate them fixing what NASCAR refuses to fix. They shouldn't have to do this, right? They shouldn't have to do this at all. Because really, the car, like, in what world is like the tire manufacturer having to make it so the race cars, the powerful race cars shred tires? You know what I mean? Like, just that kind of seems backwards to me. Anyways, my point is, like, we've seen before where Goodyear will bring softer tires to races and nothing much happens with it. Like, yeah, I think about the North Wilkesboro All-Star races. I think about certain races at Martinsville, right? Like, they'll bring even Bristol. I mean, they brought the same exact tire that they use in the spring Bristol race. They brought it back to the next Bristol race, and it was a completely different race. So that's why it's like, yeah, sure, Goodyear made the tire softer, but that's obviously not the factor that's causing the rubber not to lay down on the track and for the tires to get shredded by the concrete. Like, I'm glad Goodyear's trying, and certainly I think Martinsville last fall was the first time I really feel like Goodyear's kind of softer experimentation actually showed progress, because we had a really interesting kind of last stage at Martinsville last fall. But most of the time I feel like Goodyear's not handcuffed, but there's only so much they can do. And I said this after the Richmond episode, and Richmond also was a good race. So again, props to Goodyear. There's only so much, I guess, softer they can go with these tires.
Well, there's only so much they can do when the car doesn't run well.
And what happens? Okay, and sure, this was great. I would love to have this every week. Okay, it's going to be, 80 degrees next March at Bristol, let's say. Now what?
Yeah, well, it's not going to be good. Yeah.
We can't, like, I love this, but we need to be able to actually control this. You know? We can't just be like depending on certain weather factors to get good racing or tire wear at all, because that's not just like, oh, this weather makes the tire wear more. It's no, we're only getting tire wear
but
if the weather's like this.
There will be times though that, you know, the weather does impact a race, even if you have the best product possible. Sure,
but it's never.
But you're right. It's never 0 to 100 like this is, and that isn't great.
And I want to kind of tie that into what Jordan's saying here in this comment. Like, NASCAR isn't exactly beating the illegitimate. Thank you. I can't say that word. Like the playoff championship, bringing this to a playoff race. Again, though, I don't think Goodyear is necessarily the main factor here on why that happened. But isn't that kind of weird though? It's like, especially like if you're like an Austin Dillon team, and you guys have a game plan for Bristol to make your season last past this round, and oh, surprise, your tires last 50 laps. That kind of sucks. But everyone's dealing with the same thing, so it is what it is.
Well, this Bristol race had more lead changes than the last 2 Bristol races combined. There were 36. The last 2 Bristol races had 12. That's pretty crazy.
Do you think I like this race? I feel like I've been very negative in the past 5 minutes.
Did you like the race?
I love this race. This was amazing. I think I'm frustrated because I know we can't replicate this. You know what I mean? We're not going to be able to replicate this.
Well, I mean, you're right, because I've seen some people say, oh my gosh, the Bristol Night Race is saved. It's like, yeah, for this year at least. Like,
that's the thing.
I get what you're saying.
People are saying Goodyear needs to bring this tire here next year. Girl, they've been bringing like similar tires.
Yeah, that same tire that was used last spring was used in the night race last year, and nothing happened.
Yeah, again, that's my point. That's why I'm not sitting here being like, yay, Goodyear, they saved us. No, girl, we're not saved. Enjoy New Hampshire next week. Like, unless it rains again.
This Bristol race had the 3rd most lead changes in Bristol history.
That's crazy.
With, again, 36. And the spring 2024 race had 54.
Like, you know what's interesting? It's like we had similar drivers up front that we had up front in the spring race last year, like Ty Gibbs, just JGR in general. Seeing the drivers, not only just them showing their skill, but like the mistakes. Like, I remember how Alex Bowman kept washing up on restarts. Like, that's just one of those things where it's like, oh, NASCAR is not just driving in circles. It's kind of showing like, oh yeah, these drivers are actually having to drive these cars. They're not just logging laps.
And I think that was my favorite part of this race, because as we're going to talk about here in a second, we had a lot of guys you normally don't see up there up front as well. It really came back to the driver and not just what car are you in. It was about who is the best driver out there. And
Brad Keselowski.
That really is a throwback to what Bristol really used to be before, not even before the tire situation in this car, but before it was its current configuration. Yeah. Like, this was, a lot of people I've seen say this is like a late 90s Bristol race, an early 2000s Bristol race where they're running on the bottom. They had, I don't know what it was, PJ1 or whatever. They so many different names. They put something along the bottom line of it.
They change it every 2 years. They're like, oh, actually, it's called this now. Okay, whatever.
She's trans and figuring out what her name is. We'll let her take her time. But whatever I put down there, I think it made a difference too. I enjoyed the bottom line being the preferred lane around this race as well. Did you like that? I felt like that was just more
normally, yes, because the drivers have to fight for the bottom, and if you're defending for the bottom, that means you're also compromising your entire corner because you're taking a shallower entry. Whereas on the top, you just run your normal line when you defend. There's nothing to you're not actually defending, you're just running your line. Yeah. I love the bottom because you would see guys like they're trying to defend, but then someone will just send it in a little bit too hard and bump them out of the way, right? Like they try to beat someone to the bottom or get back in line and they get bumped out of the way, or they just overshoot the entry and wash up. It was super fun to watch. I mean, that's why we had so much passing.
So Patreon member Dirt says, look at all of those non-playoff drivers up toward the front at the end. Should we move Bristol out of the playoffs and make it the regular season finale? And then he adds an asterisk here, says, under the assumption we can always get this tire wear. And I think Zack, he understands that isn't always a guarantee, but assuming that is a scenario, would we want that?
I mean, whatever. Sure. Yeah, sure. Because
it'd be like Darlington.
Yeah, it's a similar vibe to Darlington, and it's not dependent on like Labor Day. So sure, why not? That actually, honestly, if you really think about it, that is kind of sick. But at that point, I do kind of like I enjoy the last minute super speedway qualifying for the playoffs. At that point,
with our current format, I think Daytona makes sense just in terms of hype. Do I like it? Maybe not, but like. I liked Darlington a lot last year, so Bristol would fit that same kind of idea.
It is what it is. I mean, we could have a 36 race playoffs, then it is what it is. But yeah.
So Christopher Bell won the race, his first win since March. He denied Carson Hocevar and Zane Smith their first Cup Series wins, they both restart on the front row on the last restart, which they had older tires, others had fresher. And Brad Keselowski tried to give a bump and run to Christopher Bell, but it didn't quite work. I think he just hit him way too square. And
yeah, exactly.
Pushed Bell forward. It wasn't bump and run or anything.
We've seen that at like Martinsville. It's like hard to bump drivers out of the way. But remember Richmond though? And even earlier in the night at Bristol, I feel like you could definitely bump someone out of the way. I think Brad just hit him, too square, too center. It was like, he's not far away from that looking different. You know what I mean? That would have been crazy. And again, I mean, just talking about the difference of that racing, I knew Brad could get around Bell. That was a very intense final 2 laps. Honestly.
And before that caution came out, I had no idea who was going to win this race. So I'm glad we didn't get overtime, but man, I do kind of wish this would have ran to the end green.
Oh my God,
I think Brad might have won this race just based on how things were looking. But
it was really interesting.
This was such a good race. You had no idea what was going on. As Larry Mack would say, you had comers and goers.
Yeah.
This whole race. I mean, Blaney really impressed me. Ty Gibbs really impressed me. Those two were 1-2 in both stage 1 and 2. That was a lot of fun to watch, both of the end of those stages. Focusing on those two, Ty Gibbs, he's been trying to look for his first win. Looked like he might have been heading there. The NBC booth was kind of calling him there, but then he forgot how to pit. And he what even happened, Zach? He just overshot trying to enter the
pressure got to him. You make a simple mistake. I mean, I've done enough iRacing and I've had moments like that where it's like I'm having a really great race and I literally just forgot how to pit.
Yeah,
I just made a simple mistake. Like, it happens. The pressure probably got to him. And that is something about Ty Gibbs too. We have a more old school classic race. He grew up, running traditional stock cars. I don't think the next gen cars ever really fit his style, and I feel like this is just more evidence of that because we get more of like the more traditional NASCAR race, and he's like running up front, dominating almost at the end. Like, it's interesting. I just find that really interesting.
A tie into the finishing 10th. Blaney also mentioned him. He won stage 1, second in stage 2, while Gibbs won stage 2. And Blaney the finishing 4th on scuffs on that last run. This whole race, I thought he was going to win this thing. He just seemed to be the best throughout the whole day.
Can I just say, I feel like Ryan Blaney, I know we love to glaze Ryan Blaney here, so I'm in the right place, but why is he just like the best driver in any situation?
That's just kind of been this season.
He's so adaptable.
He's championship favorite right now.
I mean, the fact that he can consistently win super speedway races in this day and age is like, that says a lot in itself. But for him to really manage this Bristol race that threw him for a loop. And again, he's also still fast in these more next gen era races where it's hard to pass too.
Yeah,
I just find that super impressive. And while we're going to talk about how Gibbs and JGR is, kind of leading the charge for the championship right now, the 12 team, they are there still. Like, it's not like they're performing badly at all. In fact, they are kind of right up there with JGR. So
it's really JGR, the 3 JGR cars in the playoffs plus the 12.
Yeah. It's
now,
be
I don't know if that'll be the final 4. I don't know if that'll be the final 4.
It might. It reminds me of, remember 2019? It was 3 JGR cars in the final 4 plus Kevin Harvick. I'm kind of getting those vibes. We'll talk about that later with the playoffs, but I'm kind of getting those vibes.
Well, let's talk about it now.
I gotta pull up. Well, then I gotta pull it up.
Well, no. What were you going to say?
Pull it up. No, I just think that, like, if I had to predict the rest of the playoff grid, I think it's legit. Like, the 3 JGR cars, Bell and Hamlin and Briscoe, I don't see them getting eliminated. And plus Blaney, unless something weird happens at Talladega, which it probably will. It's just, that's kind of how I see the final 4 right now. Hendrick doesn't look that good to me. They haven't been qualifying well.
The biggest indicator for me for Hendrick is, how are they going to be at Kansas and Las Vegas?
They need to win those races. They don't need to win them, but I need to win them to have confidence in them. Mm-hmm. And honestly, they might need to win Vegas if they want a car in the final 4. Low key, they might need to actually show up and win there if they want to be at Phoenix.
Yeah,
but they are they, in terms of GGR and Penske, and I know Penske traditionally is really good at super speedways. I feel like in the recent year, 12 months, Hendrick's kind of been better on super speedways, like Talladega in the round of 8. Like they are consistently up there, and they don't wreck each other. So most of the time.
Well, we will see what happens there. We'll come back to the playoffs. We'll talk about who got eliminated and how we think the round of 12 will go. But Corey Heim, I want to talk about him. He finished 6th in this race. This is his 4th, I believe, Cup start. He ran around 15th all night. He moved up on that last run. I was texting our friend Jackson, Zack, like, hey, Corey Heim's 15th. Then like 20 minutes later, hey, Corey Heim's 10th. And then at the very end on that last restart, I'm like, Corey Heim is 5th.
All right, Jamie Little. Corey Heim.
So impressive. This guy needs a Cup ride. It's really ridiculous. He's not. Ford and Chevrolet should be throwing money at him. I don't know where they put him, but like Toyota's not doing what they should be.
Girl, put him in the 48 car, Lukey. Who said that? That's rude. He just got eliminated and we're going to trash on Alex Bowman. That's crazy.
I mean, not to talk about Bowman real quick, but that Justin Haley rumor did have some traction to it last year. So it does make me wonder if anything happens with Bowman this year.
Yeah, whatever about Bowman. But like legit, back to Corey Heim. Like that is insanely impressive for him to show up with a part-time team.
Yep.
And just a race that
open
takes
team,
skill.
mind you.
A race that takes skill.
Extra. Yeah.
Like, and to pull out, because again, it was only the best of the best drivers fighting at Bristol for the top positions last night.
Yeah.
You didn't see William Byron up there much.
No. Man. I don't even remember seeing him on TV at all on Saturday.
I'm about to say, with you. I don't know what paint scheme he had to be. I literally don't know what paint scheme he had.
Speak of paint schemes.
He had Raptor.
Speak of paint schemes. Corey Heim's paint scheme was so nice. Both the Robin Hood cars were really, really nice. The 23 and the 67.
Yeah, they are so super nice
and
looking. Good job. They're honestly.
We have a comment about paint schemes from Patreon member Ben, who says Blaney's hood was an abomination. Did you see this? Instead of like the full hood being the sponsor, they put it at like the top, like 20% of the hood.
Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. Can I pull the open image in new tab? So they've done this before. Okay, they've done this before. It's Sylvania, isn't it?
Yeah.
Light bulbs. Okay. Yeah, teams will have weird hood placements because of the louvers. It's those vents on the hood because they don't feel like wrapping it. Fair enough. And I've definitely seen that before on the Menards cars. And they have the light bulb in the middle. Yeah, I guess. I think it must be also their branding. Like if I had to guess, I think Sylvania boxes with light bulbs must have like an orange stripe at the top or something. It's weird to put like a really long, wide, skinny, like a wide logo like that on there, but that's, that's
and
a tangent.
You don't have to pull pictures up for this one, but Ben also said that there were so many or someone else replied to Ben on our Patreon that there were so many yellow cars last night. And then Ben said,
girl, there are so many yellow cars.
Then Ben also said that Denny Hamlin and Ricky Stenhouse's cars looked way too similar. They were like both orange and blue.
Denny's car looked cool. Yeah, Denny's car looked really cool. I love orange and blue cars. They're really cool. But yeah, there are a lot of yellow cars. There used to be a lot of yellow cars in general in the Cup Series a few years ago, I feel like. And it's kind of back. So that was funny.
So Austin Cindric and Josh Berry cars both had a fire. It was the rocker panel part of the car from all the tire wear. A bunch of the tire wear got into the
like all the rubber.
Yeah, got into the spot.
That's happened before, especially with the Fords. Like that's happened.
Kevin Harvick?
I remember like Chris Buescher complaining about it. It was like it was like Darlington and started the playoffs one year, and I remember it happened to some RFK cars in like one summer. I'm
curious
why
it's a Ford issue specifically.
I feel like it is specifically Fords because it happened to Cody. Yeah, Cody Ware too, didn't it? Didn't it? Or the 66?
Oh,
didn't happen to the 66. Yeah, I think they're a Ford too. Yeah.
So we have Patreon. We have 2 Patreon comments about this from Chris. My one downside to this race were the fires on the right fronts. If we're going to keep these tires, please do keep these tires. There needs to be some way to prevent or clear out the buildup to keep it from catching fire. Again, I think it's a Ford issue. I think it's a Ford thing to deal with.
Well, and that makes me feel a little bit more like if it was all manufacturers, then I would feel really kind of upset about it. But I still feel kind of weird about it because I wish teams had the space in the rule set to where it's like, man, we have a major issue here. We need to redesign this part of the car. Kind of like an F1, right? Like when Mercedes had the what's it called? The up and down thing they had, and they had to redesign part of the car. Like that's just, but the teams can't do that. It's a spec car. And it's from Ford. Like it's the design that got approved, and they can't really change it. So that's a little frustrating, right? Because Patreon member Jordan says NASCAR is lucky a top playoff driver.
Imagine if it was Blaney. Like I think Blaney had enough.
Are you calling Cindric a bottom?
I think Blaney had enough points no matter what. But if it was Blaney, for example, and then he were to get eliminated, like that would have been a pretty big issue there. But Cindric did have the issue, and he was just one up. He was fine and lucky that no one got eliminated because of this.
He's lucky Bowman's pit crew sucks. Why is Penske and Hendrick always like trading like souls for the playoffs, by the way? This is like the 3rd time this has happened in the past year. It's like, you were like from the DQ after the oval to something that happened at Daytona when Blaney won Daytona to keep Bowman in, and now
that's right.
Yeah, now Bowman's pit crew pit crew just repaid the favor.
Actually, there was
to keep
they swapped the 77 and the 48 pit crews going into this weekend. So it was actually the 77's pit crew this week.
Well, I'm talking about like Darlington, like when they had pit issues, because that costed them points that honestly made the difference.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, or Gateway too. I think they had.
So
I didn't watch Gateway.
Hendrick Motorsports. We asked this at Darlington, after Darlington, are they in trouble? And we have a Patreon comment from Dirt. Is HMS in trouble for the round of 12? One bad race could tank them. And Dirt also asked you, Zack, why is it Kyle Larson seems to fall on his face whenever he has to save tires?
He grew up doing sprint racing.
Like 25, 30 laps
doing
races.
Endurance racing. Yep. He'll tell you that himself. That's literally it.
I think
like I don't know what else
that was an
an
unsuccessful rage bait. Dirt. Try harder next time.
Yeah, I've been knew this. And also again, it's Kyle Larson knows what he's good at. Most races don't require this tire saving, so I would be interested to see what it would look like if Kyle Larson had to develop this skill more, because I think it probably is a little bit. To be fair, not just Kyle Larson, most of these drivers in the field, I'd say 80% of them have not really mastered tire saving.
Well, a lot of them don't
if I had to imagine.
Yeah.
Or they haven't, or at least they haven't done it in like so long to where they're probably not as good at it anymore. Whereas like guys like Hamlin and Keselowski have enough experience, or even Josh Berry, who like did Cars Tour late models like for years and years and years. They probably have enough experience and muscle memory.
Yeah.
Just, they're smart enough to know how to save tires. Well, Larson, though, he didn't.
We touched on it earlier about how Hendrick probably needs to win Kansas or Vegas to advance in, but they lost Bowman after the round of 16. Chase Elliott barely made it in after having that crash. That was my prediction. I was right that he'd have an issue. I was close.
There was all we needed was Bowman to win and for the 2 car to not have an issue, and Elliott's out.
Crazy.
I was so ready for Twitter.
Chase had no clue. He thought he was out. He's like, yeah, I'm probably out, right? And then Marty Snyder's like, no, you're actually plus like 15. And he's like, oh, well, I got to figure it out, what the situation is.
Really did not care.
He did not care.
He still won't care.
I think he probably hoped he was out.
Honestly, it's like finally. He probably enjoyed the 1 year he had the injury and didn't have to be in the playoffs. He probably remember all the fans were complaining like, "Oh, they're not interviewing Chase Elliott because he's not in the playoffs." And Chase
he probably loved it because he didn't have to talk to the media.
Yeah, Chase was like, "Good, leave me alone." They're finally leaving me alone.
Well, Zach, let's pull up that playoff grid now.
Yes, sir.
And take a look. So Alex Bowman, Shane Van Gisbergen, Austin Dillon, and Josh Berry were eliminated. Josh Berry finished last every single race this round.
I feel bad. I mean, I had him out anyways because I didn't think their performance was going to be there.
I didn't think it'd be this bad. He had bad luck every week.
Yeah. I mean, you could accredit Darlington to just him making a really bad mistake. What happened to him at Gateway? He got in a wreck, right? Stage 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. That just sucks. It's a part of racing. It's also low-key a part of the playoffs. Especially with you do make your own luck. Darlington was a mistake. Gateway, hang with the squirrels, you're gonna get busted. But Bristol was just unlucky.
Yep.
Because I was gonna say, imagine if this happened to a top driver, but it's they're not gonna get in those same situations.
Austin Dillon just didn't have speed. That's not a shock elimination. SVG, you and I both had him advancing out of this round. We've talked about it in depth, what his situation was. I think that we overestimated how much his points would do for him.
Yeah, 100%. Because here's the thing, too. I feel like all summer, every time I saw SVG on an oval, he was causing a caution.
Yeah.
There was no way he was going to put a clean round together. And honestly, we were kind of fools for thinking he would.
Well, and the other thing is, too, Bristol, he was terrible there in the spring. And he ran a little better this time. I think about several positions better. But
a tire wear race certainly wasn't going to help him either because he's not going to be.
He's never really done that. Yeah.
So, and that's just the thing. But it was a NASCAR playoff. So anything can happen. A lot of guys are going to have bad luck. Girl.
Yeah. I thought more people didn't really have bad luck outside of Josh Berry.
Yeah.
And Alex Bowman. No one above the cut line really had any issues.
Bowman didn't even have bad luck though. It was just mistakes.
Yeah, mistakes.
You know what I mean? That was just mistakes from the team.
Focusing on Bowman, he was really the only one who had a shot at winning at Bristol. And he was up there, even with Cindric having that fire. He was -1 behind Cindric, but he would have still needed to win because Bowman was second at that point.
Yeah. And
you know what? Didn't happen. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. You know what? Honestly, I feel like the 12 drivers that we have left, you could argue Cindric. I feel like these are the best 12 drivers that we had in the playoffs.
I think the 4 that were eliminated would have been the easy 4 to say, if nothing crazy happens, those are the 4 out.
Because when I made my playoff grid, I was kind of basing it off of, crazy stuff's going to happen.
Same. Yep.
But if I went purely by performance, I kind of would have been very similar to what actually happened. I did have Barry out, to be fair. So, that's kind of it in this next round. I don't know if we're looking into this next round now.
But yeah, let's do that. Team Penske's the only team left with all of their cars present.
I mean, sure.
Well, Hendrick doesn't have all their cars.
Wood
Gibbs
Brothers
never got all the cars in the first place.
So we're not going to count Wood Brothers as Penske just for this situation, just for the stat. They also have less cars. It's just who cares? I'm giving you a hard time. I'm sorry.
2311 pretty much does because everyone forgets Riley Herbst is out there.
That's it would have been so funny if I would have brought that up. But no, 2311 has all 2 of their cars.
Now it would have been oh wait, you're right.
Wait, why are you counting Corey Heim? He's part-time. What? Is that the 3rd car you're talking about? Oh my God. That's crazy.
Well, going into the round of 12, they're starting like this. Hamlin's plus 26, Byron 24, Larson 24, Bell 20, Blaney 19, Briscoe 10.
Those are some huge cushions, low-key. These plus 20s.
If you have an issue, you could lose a lot of these points just if you crash out stage 1, you can lose a lot of your points in just stages if the guys below could do better.
Sure, but I don't know. These guys have been pretty elite, I feel like, in terms of, especially we're going to New Hampshire. What's after New Hampshire? Kansas. New Hampshire, Kansas, Roval. Well, Roval could get a little weird, so yeah. I feel like most of these teams will be in control of their destiny. I don't know. I feel like we had a pretty calm round, so I'm that's kind of the trend. I'm okay, we're just going to chill. Let's talk about who's probably not going to make it through this round.
On the other side of this top 12, you have Elliott +5, Bubba Wallace +1. It managed to lock in before Bristol. Had a really good first 2 races. Only +1. Cindric -1, Logano -2, Chastain -2, Reddick -3. You mentioned Ross Chastain, Zach?
Yeah, and one thing on Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace is experiencing these moments for the first time, and it makes me really happy. It's like this playoff comfort.
Yeah.
So,
because usually he's like -10 already going into this.
Chevrolet in general is kind of, dude, only 3 Chevrolets? No, 4. 4 Chevrolets left. Wow. Chevrolet's kind of been on a downtrend, I guess. Chastain's no exception. Definitely. I think he could definitely have a good performance at the Roval, and he won Kansas last year. So not to count him out or anything, but he's just kind of the easy one to pick. That's like, yeah, he doesn't have a cushion. He's not going to guarantee good performance. He's probably going to get in a situation where he has to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Kansas, just like the other Chevrolets, Kansas is probably his best shot. And he doesn't have the points like the other Hendrick cars do.
I think Cindric's another easy guy you pick out because he's, again, not stand out enough on the road courses, if at all.
Yeah.
Logano, low-key, isn't easy to pick out because I don't think they're very consistent, even when Penske's kind of showing up strong.
I think he's a little worse than last year, and he technically was eliminated in this round a year ago until Bowman got DQ'd.
Girl, look at the calendar. Because, again, he sucked last year. He really just got lucky. I'm going to be real with you.
And I think he's worse this year. I don't see Logano making it out. I agree with you on Chastain. Cindric, I have him going pretty far, so I'll say he'll make it through.
Bro, you had him in the championship for what the hell?
I know. It's because I think he's going to win Talladega, but he's going to have to get through this round. That will be pretty difficult for him. Tyler Reddick's weird for me because he could totally go and win New Hampshire, right? He's won Kansas before, but he could also just be running like the low teens because Kansas for 2311 has been bad ever since they won 3 races in a row there.
That's true.
And I'm Toyota's concerned for them.
I'm just curious, what are Toyotas going to be like on the intermediate? Anyways, we haven't had a real intermediate race in months. But, well, Darlington, I guess, was kind of intermediate. So maybe, and they were super fast there. So maybe, I don't know. Because my last question, like, I'm pretty confident on Chastain, Logano, and Cindric. I don't know who else I pick. I could easily say Bubba Wallace just based on history. They've never made it to the round of 8.
I think Bubba is performing better than half of these guys on the top 12 right now, in the top 12.
Yeah. But, again, he is one of the only few guys to never make it to the round of 8. So it's like history's telling you it's going to be Bubba. But
what about
team, they're having their best year so far.
What about Chase Elliott? He's only +5.
Yeah. To be Byron or Larson and for Hendrick to be kind of off, not qualifying well, but hey, there's at least a mile and a half. They'll probably be fine. To be Elliott, I don't feel comfortable, and they probably don't feel comfortable either. You know, I think the 9 team, they've had enough speed and consistency for the most part, I feel like, to get themselves out of this round.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could say that about the 23 and the 45 to an extent. So it's like, I really don't know who to pick for this last guy out. It could be anybody. That's the thing about these playoffs. It could be.
Would you feel comfortable in saying that it's someone on the right side of this?
That's what I'm
playoff
thinking.
Graphic.
Because Briscoe's lighting y'all on
I'm looking
fire.
At the left. I think Blaney's too good. Barring like a mechanical failure, like 2 crashes and mechanical failure or something, I think Blaney's too good. I think Briscoe could have swept the first round. He was good enough to do that.
Briscoe's one of the best, or if not the best driver at the moment. Which is that 19 team.
Yeah. Pretty crazy to think about. I think Bell is pretty good right now, obviously. He just won. Larson and Byron are kind of like, I want to see Kansas before I make a definitive comment on them.
Well, with how strong Toyota's been, I feel like the argument is that, Chase Elliott's in trouble.
Yeah.
These 2311 cars, what if they do show up to Kansas with speed? Then
then Chase Elliott's done. But then go back to the spring. Elliott was the next best car behind Larson.
Kansas is
going to come down to Kansas.
It's going to come down to Kansas. Kansas is the biggest race in this round.
Because I have
so many questions.
if SVG wins Charlotte, as many are expecting right now, Kansas, you're going to have to win Kansas before you go into the Roval.
If you need to win, you better get that win at Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you want to go toe-to-toe with Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean...
Like, is there any reason for us to believe that Toyota... Because this is not a fluke. I don't think Toyota is just fast based on a fluke.
But is it too early?
Who cares? I'm not talking about Phoenix. No, I'm not talking about Phoenix. I'm talking about next week and then the week after.
Yeah.
You have to get through this round. Honey, we're not talking about Phoenix until it's election day or before Halloween, rather. Sorry, Halloween. I'm not ready to talk about who the champion is until Halloween. Okay? We got to get through in Kansas before we talk about that. I'm so whole like, oh no, Toyota's peaking too early and Penske could still be there's literally 0 point in talking about that because that's not relevant until we roll up to the round of 8, maybe. You know, It's not relevant. I'm talking about New Hampshire and Kansas.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
No, it's gonna be really interesting to watch. Yeah, I guess
I'll say Elliott misses.
Okay, let's lay down predictions. I'm saying it's gonna be Logano, Chastain, Elliott, and Reddick are the ones out, and Reddick's going to be on the cut line.
Reddick was close at the Roval last year, wasn't he?
I believe
he was pretty close. I have enough faith in Toyota. I'm going to try to be smart here. So I'm saying Elliott, Cindric, Logano, Chastain. 5 Toyotas in the round of 8. I'm all in on Toyota, apparently. Damn.
Yeah. All right. Well,
crazy.
Well, Zach, let's move on to the tea because we got some tea. We have quite a bit of tea. So,
and I didn't even get to have the tea last week, so I'm thirsty.
First things first, NASCAR playoffs, we mentioned it earlier, are expected to change in 2026. What that looks like, we don't know yet. There have been rumblings that it could be a 3-race finale. Jordan Bianchi gave a hypothetical, if you want to call it that, last week on Door Bumper Clear about
a 3 or 4 race finale.
3-3-4 is what he was saying.
I would like a 4 race finale for Talladega.
But that would include Talladega, which
that's fine. My ideal. Okay, if we want to have a stupid little format like this, a 4 race finale, road course, super speedway, short track speedway. Thanks. It's balanced. You have one of each track type. You can't say it's like, no, we can't. No, girl, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, don't put Talladega in there at all. If you're
it's low-key still more legitimate than doing it at one race. I'm so serious.
Well, and I've been calling for this kind of format, if that is the path they're going down, for quite a while now. I've mentioned it several times on the podcast. Like, I would be open to that idea. I think it's perfectly fine. Let them keep their points. Don't reset it.
Oh, T. Yeah. Did you read the quote yet?
So Adam Stern of the Sports Business Journal said, some within NASCAR have come around to the idea that a one-off race to determine the season-long championship might not be the proper formula to crown a champion and are open to change.
It only took them 12 years.
Well, better late than never, right?
I'm not trying to say I told you so, but when they announced this format in like early 2013, well, whatever. No. 2014.
It was late 2013, early.
Oh, did I say late? I'm sorry. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
But I knew it was stupid. It was a mistake. This is not legitimate. And I've been back and forth somewhat on the playoff format in general, but Alex, what is the one part I have never liked?
The winner take all one race finale. And I never liked that either.
The playoffs make sense to an extent all the way until you get to that last race because the playoff points disappear for no reason.
And I've been on here and defended the format to an extent. It's just that one race format, one race championship. That's where I'm like, you lose me.
You lose it. You lose the entire point of legitimacy because everything that you worked for in the season gets erased going into Phoenix. It's stupid.
Let them keep their points.
I'm glad that I don't think that works for a one race because like the point totals scaled differently.
I'm just saying, I hope if they do this 3 race, 4 race
Yeah, no, I'm saying, that's smart. But yeah, like, thank you for finally coming around to this. Thank you for making us suffer for this with 10 years. Like, this just irritates the hell out of me.
Do you hope they get rid of win and you're in? Because I doubt they're doing that. But I feel like if you're going to do this format, you could have 3 winners who are so far behind. If they get rid of the points as well, you could have 3 winners who make it into the final round who are like 50 points behind someone.
Oh, you're talking about winning you're in. Okay. Like,
yeah.
round. I thought you meant like for the playoff field.
So my question 3 get it on points who are like really low on the playoff grid. But then you have 1 who made it on points who is really good all year and has a ton of playoff points.
I don't know what that would look like, to be honest with you. I think winning your in's probably fine. I was more thinking about like qualifying for the playoffs in general. Like, is it going to be a field of 12 since we only have 3 rounds? Like, what does that look like?
I think that'd be more interesting because you have to fight more for spots.
I like my idea that I had where it's like literally you could let however many people you want in the playoffs, top 10 in points, and then have as many winners as you want, but maybe don't give them bonus points or something, whatever you want to do. Kind of like the wild card format. It's just
like that too.
Any wild card format you have, SVG makes that weird. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't want SVG to still a spot like that, I guess. I don't know. So I'm excited. I'm glad they're finally changing. I loved listening to the teardown this week. And Jeff Gluck said something that I've been saying for a long time. One day in our lifetimes, they're going to go back to a season-long points format. Now, that's way far down the road, and I'm not bringing that up to talk about that. But honestly, Alex, I didn't really think we were going to change the playoff format this soon.
Well, I think the TV ratings being down by 45% since this format was introduced in 2014. That's probably a factor in it that people aren't really as engaged as they thought they would be.
I think Logano winning last year was really what did it, because that he had an awful season. He literally had the most luckiest season to the championship.
And I think the fan uproar about it is louder than ever as well.
It was hard to kind of damage control, I think.
Well, and the damage control is crazy right now. Like, Mark Martin is very vocal about this, and you have media members attacking him for it, which is very weird. Very weird.
I don't know. I'm tired of arguing about it, and I know you're tired of arguing about playoffs on this podcast too. Every time I bring it up, you tell me to shut up, and I get it, Alex. It's annoying.
Well, it's because we've rehashed it, but yeah.
It kind of feels like fighting for like basic things. Like, I'm sorry, I want my champion to be legitimate in the sport I watch every weekend. I'm so sorry. That's what I require to watch your sport and to care. Like, I'm just so tired of having this discussion. It feels like I'm being gaslit.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched, like, sure, I didn't watch NASCAR before 2004. I was literally in diapers, roughly. But like, I still remember watching these 10-week chase battles, and 2011 super memorable. Even 2010 was memorable, with it being Hamlin versus Jimmy Johnson, and one of the most memorable championship battles in my life was 2021 F1 Lewis and Max. And I was talking before the show, could you imagine working on one of those race teams and your entire season is coming down to your performance? Like, like it actually matters, like it's all adding up. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But that's, I'm going off on a tangent. I just,
No, you're good. So, sticking with NASCAR here, the 2311 for Motorsports and the NASCAR legal stuff continued. And NASCAR has a working contingency plan that was revealed as in part of all this. In case teams boycotted or left the series, that doesn't mean there's going to be a boycott or that teams are leaving the series. I think they're just making plans, as you probably should in the situation. And some notes, this is from notable things, this is not everything that I saw in this. NASCAR is, or one of their plans is NASCAR could own all the cars and build all the cars. Yikes, if the teams can't come to an agreement with them. Don't like that one. A balance of a field set with open entries from Cup, Xfinity, and ARCA all at once. That's one.
Girl, I want to see that so bad. Please. Please.
Reducing the field down to 30 teams. which would basically just be no front row and no 2311.
All right,
that's all the current charter cars.
Yeah.
And then there's this note that says there are potential new charter holders that we could introduce and bring into the sport, such as Junior Motorsports, Sam Hunt Racing, Andretti, McLaren, Ganassi, Tricon Garage, Wayne Taylor Racing, among others. There's several more.
Wayne Taylor Racing, good Lord have mercy. This is like me writing like a motorsports fanfic. Like, if I had a perfect team or a perfect league, it's gonna have these teams in it and these drivers. Like,
as well as new owners such as John Menard, who is Paul Menard's dad, and Mumford and Sons. I'm assuming that's the band. Okay, why not?
That is hilarious.
That is literally listed. Racing.
Wayne Taylor is gonna see this and be like, "Girl, I never
said that.
I never said that." Like, what? So, like, that must be a list of like people they're going to ask. Let me make a list of people. I'm assuming
some of these are actual teams who have actually showed interest in getting the 2311 and front row charters, and some of these are teams that they just made up.
I think most of these are teams
like McLaren. I don't think. See that.
To me, it's
Andretti's been rumored a long time ago. They're associated with Spire. I don't think that's a thing.
This is like a list of boys I'm going to ask to the prom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just go down the list after they say no. All right, next one. What? It's just
Mumford and Sons is so random. If you want actual information, details, and stories about this, check with like Bob Pockris and Matt Weaver.
Matt Weaver's been working hard on this.
Matt Weaver is who I first saw this from. Did a great job on this.
Matt Weaver, our great, bald, short track journalist, is out here in this courtroom, and I love that. Yeah, like, he's doing so much work. I love Matt. I can't wait for to have him back one day. It'll be sometime. But yeah,
for sure. Patreon member Phil said, "How nervous are we about this lawsuit, and do we have a side that we fall on?"
Girl, why the hell would I be nervous?
I'm not nervous about it.
I don't care at all. I just haven't cared at all.
I do think that this could potentially have ramifications on NASCAR. I don't know if I'm necessarily on a side. I do think it'd be better, I think, from what I understand, if like Hamlin and 2311 won and everything. But it's like I'm not knowledgeable enough on this topic to give you a concrete answer on this. That's why I say go check out what Bob Pockris and Matt Weaver are saying and form your own opinion.
I feel like it makes more sense to want Denny and 2311 to win. Yeah. In a way. Like, because it's just like NASCAR at the end of the day is a corporation. Like, do we really want to see the corporation win this? You know what I mean? It's just, it feels kind of ugly. And speaking of ugly, I definitely don't want to see this get super ugly because it could have a negative impact, but I don't know what that looks like. That's why I just don't really care. Maybe it's because I'm uneducated. Maybe I don't know the consequences of what's about to happen. But at the same time, my life doesn't necessarily revolve too much around NASCAR, I guess. If that makes sense. Like, if I was working for NASCAR, would I feel different? Probably.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's a lot of probably uncertainty, at least maybe not within NASCAR itself, but a lot of the teams. It's probably just like, what's going to happen here? Yeah.
Especially if I was working on like 2311, obviously, but even not at 2311. So it is what it is. At the same time, though, I'm so messy. I live for this. Like the drama.
Just remember, Denny Hamlin said all will be revealed on December 1st.
Girl, what does that mean? That is, dude, Denny is an artist.
It's a big like court hearing, like the actual one of the big cases start for it.
Like him walking out at Bristol, you know how Bristol they always have the music, the drivers pick their walkout song. Him walking out to the Law and Order theme.
So funny.
Like Denny Hamlin is an artist. He's a NASCAR driver. You can say what you want about him. He is an artist. Like every time he tweets, I'm just like, yeah, this is great. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, this is going to be great. I love him so much. You know what else is great? IndyCar. I gotcha.
I was like,
you keep looking at that phone. I don't know who you're texting.
So,
are you texting me?
No. IndyCar posted an hour ago, as of recording, all will be revealed ... soon, with a detective emoji. It has been rumored.
Denny Hamlin.
That's
exact
same thing.
They are literally being Denny Hamlin. At least it's not December 1st.
Yeah. So it's been long rumored that the IndyCar schedule for 2026 is going to come out either today or tomorrow. I think it's going to be tomorrow because it is now 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I'm assuming it's too late to be dropping
Roger
today.
Penske just went to bed. So
yeah, Roger's already going to sleep.
They should do the stupid trend thing. It's like, I'm trying to fit the IndyCar schedule on our header.
Oh no. They're probably going to do that.
Why did we bring the trend back? That trend sucks.
It was not a good trend.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
By the time you're listening to this, if you listen on Wednesday or Tuesday, the schedule's probably out. But here's some notables. Laguna Seca is expected to return as the season finale. Thoughts? Everyone wanted that, right?
Girl, and again, Laguna. I said this when they were at Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca is one of the best tracks in North America, but IndyCar just doesn't really do it for me there. In general, I feel like IndyCar's best product is ovals, right? Obviously, have your championship finale at an oval. There's like no reason to have it at a road course. I think a street course even makes more sense because then at least, hey, we're crowning a champion on the streets of Nashville. Like that made sense to me. Okay, it made sense.
Yeah.
To have it at a road course, unless it's like, no, there's no road course on the IndyCar schedule where it makes sense to hold a championship. Not even Road America. It's just have it at an oval or have it on a street course. Like,
the Nashville finale's been really successful, fun. I think it's the perfect venue. You can go into downtown Nashville and Broadway and celebrate. You can have a whole activation down there. If you have an actual championship battle, you can have the drivers go down there like on the Friday. Like there's so many benefits to being in Nashville, and we're going to go bring it back to Laguna Seca, supposedly.
It's been my least favorite way to end the championship at Laguna Seca. It's just nothing really interesting about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a rural part of California anyways? I'm
hoping that maybe that this got reported, I believe, late last week. Maybe IndyCar saw all the backlash to it and maybe they're like, actually, we're not going to do that. But
LOL, don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. What girl? Like they listen. They don't listen.
Well, here's something that'll make you laugh. Mexico City has been confirmed to not be on the schedule. IndyCar released a press release on Saturday. And let me tell you, if you put out a press release on a Saturday, that means you do not want people to see your press release. You don't want people, you want it to get buried in weekend plans. There's football on. You don't want people to see this.
People are out not checking social media. That makes sense.
Many people are just not working. Like if you're a journalist, you're not going to look at your work email like on a Saturday, for example. So to me, that just screams IndyCar doesn't want you to know this, but this is like a bit of a buffer that's just saying, we told you, we let you know. Like you can't say we didn't tell you. In the press release, Mark Miles basically takes like the fall for it not happening. They also cited the World Cup in 2026 for that to not happen. That's also why Toronto isn't happening next year.
The World Cup is in Mexico?
It's happening all across, I think it's all across the country. I know there's going to be games here where I live too. It might be just all across the world. Yeah.
Oh, North America. What?
Yeah.
So, is that how I guess that's how it works. Whatever. Okay.
I don't know enough about soccer. Sorry.
Football.
I believe 90% of our audience is American, Zach. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm being stupid. Well, I have I love how this is not the first time they said Mexico will not be on the IndyCar schedule.
Zach, check the group chat. That we put in the T. Can you show up the tweet?
Girl, you want me to pull it
making
up?
You work. Yes.
Can I just read it?
No.
You did. I'm not prepared. I gotta fumble around with this while talking at the same time. The group chat.
That's why I sent it in there. I guess I didn't.
Well, you didn't tell me to pull it up, girl. Oh,
I just did.
I'll deal with you after. Anyway. Anyways, we can't even see it. I suck at this. All right. Holman and Company, Mark Miles says Mexico City, quote, is still looking good, end quote, to host an IndyCar race in 2016. This is from September 20th, 2015 from Adam.
Nearly a decade to the day of us recording this episode. Mark Miles said Mexico City still looks good to be on the schedule.
Still looking good, Mark.
It's still looking good for 2027, you guys. Still looking good. You can take that back down, Zach. I just wanted to put the tweet up there.
I'm severely disappointed because it's another one of these things where it's like, IndyCar, why do you not have control of anything? Yeah. I'm just frustrated. I'm not necessarily blaming IndyCar because listen, IndyCar understandably only has so much pull. And what NASCAR's not going back to Mexico next year, are they? No. So, I mean, at least there's that. At least it's not like NASCAR's going back and IndyCar's not going, but it's just very disappointing.
And these Mexico talks, they've always been around the last 10 years, but they really fired back up when Mark Miles ran his mouth and said that Pato Ward isn't a notable enough driver, and it's because he's not on billboards. And then, of course, they did like a campaign with Pato on a bunch of billboards. And there was the Pato Who billboard and all this stuff. That was a year ago. And then that's when these IndyCar to Mexico chats really picked up. Then there was rumors around the season finale at Nashville that it was going to be announced on the Friday night at Nashville. That didn't happen. And it's just been less and less likely. And it's eventually snowballed to here. They put out a press release on a Saturday, so it gets buried. So as little people as possible are talking about it. And then there's the potential, we've talked about this a couple times now, that Washington, D.C. could have a street race. And Tony Donahue has said that race is going to be in August next year. Which, that would mean you have to shuffle around the schedule quite a bit because the World Cup's going to be in a lot of the summer. Like, there's a lot of questions I have about the schedule, and we'll talk about them more next week when this is hot. I'm assuming revealed
up here in Virginia in August.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be revealed on Tuesday as of recording.
I mean, I don't go to DC as it is. I think I could take a train to DC. Like, that would be the closest IndyCar race to me if they do race in DC. So that kind of excites me. But
yeah,
DC, someone lives there that I don't like. So I don't know, man. I don't want to show up to DC.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no one y'all know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no one y'all know.
Not personally, no, but
but yeah, God. That schedule's gonna be interesting. We'll talk about that next week, I would imagine. IMSA is at the Indianapolis Road Course this weekend, Zach. The Battle on the Bricks, a 6-hour race.
The final endurance race at Indy for them because
that is Sunday at 11:40 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. I'll probably watch the start.
Yeah, you lost me at Sunday. IMSA, you guys own Saturday so much. You own Saturday. Come on. They must get, I guess, especially NBC. Well, no, NBC has NASCAR now. Like,
yeah.
And football.
Why are they running these head to head?
Yeah.
NASCAR
I guess
owns
college,
IMSA.
I know there's college football like Saturdays and stuff, but like NBC, like, girl, just run it Saturday. I will watch it. NASCAR's on. I'm just saying.
I have a comment. I'm surprised this is on Sunday because Indianapolis, they normally only run the Indy 500 on Sunday there.
That's true. Right? Wait.
The Indy Road Course race for IndyCars on Saturday.
Like every time IndyCar races outside the Indy 500 at that track.
Even when they did the fall 2020 Indianapolis race.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't say this, obviously an endurance race at Indy is not the level of the Brickyard, but it's still a big event. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of their big events of the year. So yeah, Sunday, sure, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably multi-screen it if I can, because I'm gonna want to keep track of it. It's a big race. I think they only have 2 races left. This and Petit Le Mans.
So. Not that many. If there's more. Well, yeah. Let's move on to fantasy. There's also an F1 race this weekend, by the way. I don't know where they're at, but I did confirm.
I'll look it up while you yap.
So fantasy NASCAR is at New Hampshire for Bristol. Zach and I had a very
Azerbaijan.
Baku.
Yep.
Okay. So Zach and I had a very competitive battle for 31st and 32nd with our fantasy picks of Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin.
Not the first time this has happened, by the way. No. I feel like every time we pick like Larson and Hamlin, they're out there battling for 30th. I swear. This is not the first time it's happened.
You picked Hamlin, who finished 31st. I had Larson, who finished 32nd. So you got 1 point. 1 point difference. It is 25-24. You get to pick first again.
And you know what's crazy? Because I had a feeling that Bristol was going to be a tire wear race, like because I knew it was going to be colder. So I was like, "Oh, Denny Hamlin." Nope, he's got to literally hit everything.
He had a bad car.
I'm going to pick Christopher Bell.
Yeah,
because he's just good at New Hampshire and he's on a roll. I feel like I've been like picking whoever just won last week, but no, he's just the best at New Hampshire. Clearly, JGR is good right now. Who are you going to pick?
I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin.
Okay? You know who you should have picked?
Who?
Chase Briscoe.
That is
the 19 car has been really good at New Hampshire, like with Truex. So
that is very true, and I did not think of that.
Oh well, you picked Denny Hamlin.
I did pick Denny Hamlin.
But Denny's good there too. Good. I mean, he's JGR is just gonna be good. So, yeah.
Man, I don't think I would have picked Briscoe as my second pick until you would have said that. Yeah,
I know. I need to stop. I need to start picking him. Like, I need to start picking him. I think he's going to win another race before the season ends.
I agree.
Yeah. But it's going to be, it's going to be one of those races where, like, you can't pass. I don't think he can win races otherwise. That's why he didn't win Bristol last night. I need to stop talking trash about these drivers.
Thank you to our Patreon members for their support. Patreon.com/GayRacingPod. If you'd like to join the conversation we had throughout the episode, just $2 a month to join that and submit questions. $5 for any early access or bonus videos we plan to do. Consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and like it on YouTube. Follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod on Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And follow Zach and I on socials at Dreamy Zach Racing and at Newgaden.
I will say the questions were like really good this week. Like the discussions, except for Dirt trying to rage bait me.
Usually it's Blake.
So I know Blake took the week off. First of all, I know y'all ain't going to come on my podcast and give Kyle Larson flop of the week. I listened to that part. That's crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry he wrecked your little man, but we're okay. We Alex, did we all make it to the next round? We did.
I don't know if your man's going to make the next one.
Girl, I'm kind of feeling the same way. It's giving 2022. It was that year, right? He couldn't make it out of this round. I'm like, girl.
Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras.
This is not funny anymore. He hasn't won since May.
Kansas. That's all going to come down to Kansas. I'm telling you.
Girl. I don't remember. It's like those Nintendo YouTubers. Have they forgotten about Mario? Meanwhile, Kyle Busch fans are over here. I haven't won in like 2 years, 3 years. Oh my gosh.
I forget he's out there. I forgot about Kyle Busch.
Every time he brings out the caution, I remember. So we'll see y'all next week to talk about NASCAR at New Hampshire. I don't know what kind of race that's going to be. I loved the rain race there last year, but maybe we'll talk a little bit of IMSA at the Brickyard, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe something interesting will happen in F1. We'll have a lot to talk about next week. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.